Dave Armstrong, of course, was recently on Mark Tiley's My Tunes, and he said that you were his favourite songwriter.
Really?
He did. Obviously, you
he
were
doesn't
listening,
get out
so
much
you
with
knew
his
that.
ears, does he?
He doesn't take his ears out very much.
No. Bless his soul. Oh,
How long have you and Dave worked together?
too long. This is why I'm on.
Is this
tonight.
you breaking up with him?
Yes, this is my way of saying goodbye to Dave. No, I think it's been 30 years.
Wow. Since you were 5?
Yeah, since I was 12. Yeah, 5. 5 sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's been. We were talking about it the other day. It doesn't feel that long.
Yeah.
But it has been quite a while.
And how long have you been working with Paul Tier?
It's about the same. He was in 2020, House of Thieves. So that's going back a long time. You should get Paul up and talk about his. I think his book's coming on pretty well. My Life 2020 split kind of thing. But no, he's. It's been. We're friends foremost. I think the music is friends foremost, and the music came out of that. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think I know. So.
And so we were talking before how it sort of started in a slightly different guise. So you were doing stuff as Simon Rea, weren't you, for a while?
Yes, I was.
So when did it become TrumanFalls?
Well, I moved to London, and then I was starting to write on and off with Paul, and I came back and I had written a song called The Last Man on the Moon, and I recorded it at Dave's with Paul and Stuart Watchrit, and then I went away and I came back again, and that's when I said, right, I think Dave said to me, let's do an album. And I said, I don't want to be me. I want to be somebody else. And he said, doesn't anybody? And then I said, I came up with Truman, but that was all he has. Well, you know this, Christy DeHaven. And we said we had to have another name for it because there was already a band called Truman. So I said TrumanFalls because Bedford Falls, as in It's a Wonderful Life. And so that's what it stayed as, really.
And it has worked. And so Little Happy House was that album that you're talking
correct,
about.
Yes.
And then Head Swims.
Yes.
Was it 2 years ago, Head Swims?
5 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
5 years ago.
No.
5 years ago. And I said to myself when we finished Head Swims and we did our album release and we started pushing that one, I said 3 years at the most. But because of this lurgy, we've had to put that to bed for a year. So.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it goes, really.
Well, I tell you what we'll do then. So we're going to talk about the new album shortly because, as you said, as we just said, you've put this to bed, but now you are writing this new album, and we do have the single that we're going to play for you shortly. But let's go back to Head Swims then, because I asked you before you came up to think of a TrumanFalls song that was one of your faves.
Yes.
So tell us what you've chosen and why.
Apple of My Eye. The reasons are varied. One is because it's actually written about my son. And it was written quite quickly. But it was more that we had one more song to do on the album, and I had this idea for one song that I wanted to do. And Dave and Paul were like, it took them a while to turn around to me and say, Simon, this song is pants. So I went away and cried and yelled and went back to my Winnebago. And then came back in and said, right, okay, we'll scrap it because it's a vote system thing. I've got this one. And they said, this is a great one. And we recorded it, the whole backing, in a day.
Wow.
And that was the last song we did on the album. And I said, that's where we are now. So it was the last song that we recorded on the album, but I've taken that idea and that feeling into this album because it was such a quick, I'm going to say effortless, but it wasn't effortless, but it felt joyous is a good word to use. So
excellent.
We've taken that kind of ideal with us, hopefully.
Well, let's hear that very song, though, that you sort of inspired you to start then and informed this new album. So this is from the album Head Swims, TrumanFalls and Apple of My Eye.